Is for lesson 1.1. You're going to go into modules, and I have brought the unit 1 telling details up here towards the top. We're starting learning cycle number 1, and as you can see, you've got a link to my lesson 1.1 instructions, and you have the assignment in itself. So let's go into instructions. You are more than welcome to view the instructions from this window. The other option you have is to click the link, which will generate a new tab, so you can view the options as a whole Google document. I would also suggest that you maximize your view to help with reading. Now I'm going to read through this for you. Lesson 1.1. Whose room is this? This lesson engages you in the act of closely observing and analyzing the telling details in a series of photographs of rooms. You read the images to get a sense of how the room's inhabitants might have spent their lives. This type of close observation and detective work serves as an introduction to the act of literary analysis. Readers of literature must also interpret telling details as a means to unlock a work's greater meaning. I would like you to use the following timeline to complete this assignment in our single class period. Part 1 of this assignment, 1.1, should only take about 20 minutes. Part 2 should take about 10. Part 3 about 15. Your lesson goals. These are your learning targets. You will observe and analyze details in visual text and conduct a brief on-the-spot research. Here are your success criteria. You will demonstrate understanding through analytical sentences and academic conversations. Part 1. Observing a set of photographs. Below you will see our first image, Crow's office. Closely observe the image and record your observations in L1.1. This will represent the assignment to be worked in, completed, and submitted for a formative grade. You will look for a link to your assignments in each of these set of instructions. That's how you will find the assignment, build the assignment, and then use that to submit the assignment. So click this link to make a copy of the assignment E1 L1.1. You are to remove copy of and replace it with your first initial and last name. Now when I click on this, it doesn't ask me to make a copy. Oh, I guess it's going to, never mind. So yes, I want to make a copy. And that's what it should prompt you to do as well. And remember, if you can't see the title up here, it's just because this arrow is hiding things. You want to click this arrow to show your menus. And now you can see it. So notice it says copy of. I want this gone, and I want your first initial and last name to replace it. So part 1, observing a set of photographs. Directions. Observe the image closely and record your observations. Hint. Use the instructions to assist you with this first image and then continue to complete the following images. Again, I'm going to make this a bit bigger. There's a lot of stuff there. All right, so I'm going to go back to my instructions like it said. There's the same image. Excuse me. Bits of observation that should help you answer the first question would be to point out the electric typewriter. Okay, I see that. The books or the shelves of organized papers. Okay. And what do these details reveal? So a lot of books, typewriter. Possibly an author, a research-based author, something of that nature you could think. You can get a filing cabinet. He's very organized. I know it might not look organized to some people, but that's actually pretty organized. So you would come over here. What details about this room and its contents reveal how this person works? What do you think? Looking at the room, the contents about this room, you get the electric typewriter, you get the filing cabinet, you get a desk, You've got these books, all these papers organized on the shelves here. What does that tell you? When attempting the second question, you have portraits of Native Americans and landscapes, feathers, walking sticks, and the photographs of the eagle. What do these details reveal? So I go back to my 1.1. What else might the objects in the room and on the walls reveal about the person who works here? What does that tell you? What does it tell you about this person who works in here? Make sure your sentences are complete sentences. Okay, so you will now continue the process with the next 3 images. You may work with your partner directly next to you. That means the person to your left or right within your grouping of 4. So you've got this image, a little different than the first. That's kind of cool. Looks like a relatively comfy couch. Ooh, that's a lot of books. That's a lot of books. All right, so you should be in here looking at each of these images and answering each of these questions. This is what should take you about 20 minutes, but I've spent 5 minutes explaining, so now the writing part should only take you 10 to 15. You can pause this video and come back when you have finished this last one, and you should be going back to part 2. Part 2, analyzing, telling details. I will now reveal the identities and occupations of the people who owned the rooms depicted in the 4 images taken from photographer Mitch Epstein's photo essay dedicated to monumental figures who died in 2016, Quiet Places. Photo number 1 is Joseph Medicine Crow, Native American historian and anthropologist. I wonder if this will come up for me. Perfect. So if you don't know what something is with a Google Doc, what I did was had my cursor over top, and I did a 2-finger click, and then I had to find. An anthropologist is an expert in or student of anthropology. So what I might do is take this down to anthropology and search that way. Why isn't it searching it? Anthropology, I'll just go ahead and tell you, it should search anthropology, I don't know why it wouldn't, is the study of groups of people. That's what anthropology is. I actually took a college course on it. It was very, very enlightful. Photo number 2 is Thornton Dia. She is an artist. Actually, it's more of a he probably. I'm not sure. They're an artist. Photo number 3 is Prince, the musician. I can see that. Photo number 4 is Elie Wiesel, writer and political activist. I understand with all the books now. Epstein's goal was to arrive not long after each person's death, in those days when a person's spirit can still seem palpable somewhere among their rooms and their things. With Epstein's goal in mind, select one of the photographs and conduct a very brief, on-the-spot online research to discover a few facts about the individual's career. Then, re-examine the photo to identify those details that seem to be most significant clues to the person's work identity. So, which photo do you want to use? And remember, now you know what each of these people are. This first photo was a Native American historian and anthropologist. This person here was an artist. Then you have a musician. And then you have a writer and political activist. So pick the photo that best suits you to research, and research really quickly, not more than 5 minutes, who these people were. It's a quick, select their names, copy, give yourself a new tab, paste, and see what you get about this person. Don't go to Facebook. It's not going to be on Facebook. So Thornton Dia was a artist. There we go. I think it might have been dialed in. Must have missed. I'm glad I saw that in this video. Whew, that'd have been scary. Thornton Dial. Don't look up Thornton Dia. Thornton Dial. But yeah, do a quick spot on research, and find some stuff about them that relates to the picture of their office. And remember, these pictures were taken shortly after they passed away. Okay, so when you're done with that spot on research, you're going to come back to part 3. So part 3, using a sentence frame. Focus on the photograph you selected and the research you did from part 2. Using the sentence frame provided in the assignment E1L1.1 to support writers in constructing a sentence that relates telling details to a relevant characteristic about the room's owner. So let's come over here to the assignment. All right, so choose one of the photographs to re-examine. We did that. Look for telling details that you might have overlooked. You learned a bit about the room's owner already. You did that spot on research, or on the spot research, whatever you want to say. And it says 3 to 4. I would really like 4. Please push for 4. That connect those details to the traits you learned about the room's owner. And use the following sentence frame to help you compose your sentences. So the blank is a detail that reveals something from what you learned about that person. So, you know, we know that he is an African-American writer and, how they say it, Native American, not African-American, apologies, Native American historian and anthropologist. So I can, you know, say that these paintings of Native Americans, use the sentence frame. The paintings of the Native Americans is a detail that reveals how he felt about the culture of once he studied, so on and so forth. So you want to use this sentence starter, and it's not where you can copy it. This is an image, so you actually do have to type the pictures of the Native American. Notice I've capitalized the N and the A because it's a proper noun. Is a detail that reveals. And then I would continue writing what that reveals about what I learned about the person who owned that room. So 4 sentences, not that hard, very simple, not even a paragraph, 4 sentences. And then when you're done with that, you're going to come all the way back to Canvas. You're in a module, so you're going to click Next. Now, using the Google Drive tab, upload your Google Doc E1 L1.1 assignment. I will not open, view, or grade any Google Doc assignments that are shared with me. All assignments must be uploaded in Canvas. So you would hit Start Assignment. You would hit Google Drive. Now this should show up. If it doesn't, this is what you need to do. Go to Account. Oh, I don't know if I can do this in here. Go to Notification. I can't do that in here. Let me leave it Student View so you can see what you need to do. So go to Account. Go to Settings in your account. Web Services. Registered services should be Google Drive. If it's not under here, that means it's over here. You want to click on it and then click on the actual windows that pop up to authorize Google Drive from over here to over here. You've got to have Google Drive here. Okay, I'm going to go back into our class, back into student view, modules. We were turning in this assignment. Start assignment, Google Drive. And for some reason, the second tab tends to work a little bit better than the first one. Select. The most recent thing usually pulls up. You can either double click it or click and then hit add. Either one will do. Hit attach, and you'll see it pop up right here. And then you want to submit the assignment. And you can hit OK if it's being funny. So when it's submitted, you're going to know that it's submitted because it'll have a check mark submitted, and it'll give you the date and time. When you come back into this, if I've left comments on it, you'll see your comments displayed here as well. If you need to make a new attempt, you can, but you'll have to make your edits within here in the actual 1.1 assignment Google Doc, and then upload that into your new attempt if you have to make some edits. So that is your 1.1. I am going to be prepared to do 1.2 on Tuesday, 3 and possibly 4 on Wednesday and Thursday, and then 5 on Friday. I'm going to go fast, so please stay with me as best you can.